print your spreadsheet, there's a couple of things that you need to do for printing. And so first off, before you ever print, you always want to do a print preview to make sure that it's fitting to one page. So go into your print preview and you can see how this time I just got my chart. Now the reason I just got my chart is because I was selected on my chart. So if I would have just hit print, that's all I would have gotten was a chart with no name on it. How would I know whose that is? So I'm going to close this, make sure I'm not selected on anything, and let's try a print preview again. Now this time I'm getting lots of stuff. I'm getting my spreadsheet and I'm getting my chart, and you can ignore this because that's an old thing from long ago. Anyway, it is fitting to one, should fit to one page. Important for you. Mine is not fitting to one page because of this whole extra thing down here. If I did in fact want to print all of that, make sure it says page 1 of 1 and make sure that next page is dimmed out. So this is a great example for you to see because mine does not fit to a page. So let me show you some of the things that I would do in order to make this fit. From this print preview screen right here, rather than closing out of it, I would go to my page setup, and the first thing I would do under my page setup is I would change it to landscape and see if that fixes anything. So when I say okay, fixed it, it looks beautiful. However, I'm still seeing page 1 of 2 and I'm still seeing a next page here. So it still fits onto 2 pages because of that extra chart that I've got way down at the bottom. So once again, I'm going to go to page setup, and instead I'm going to go back to portrait because this one is long, but I'm going to choose this button that says fit. And you can fit it 1 page wide by 1 page tall. And when I hit my fit button, now it's going to actually shrink everything down ever so slightly in order to get it to fit on the page. Still can't print it. I don't know whose this is, and when you hand them in, you need to be able to tell me whose they are. So I need to go into page setup one more time, and in page setup under header and footer, go into custom header, and that way you can put your name at the left, and you could put either your assignment name right below that, or you could put your assignment name in the center if you want. This one is green. And so now when I say okay, now you can see my header shows, and it's fitting to a page because next page is dimmed out and it now says page 1 of 1. So at this point, you could hit your print button right from there. I'm going to close because I don't want to print that. Make sure that your spreadsheet is saved. You've got your header in there now. You want to make sure that you hit your save button. Ignore that. Now for this next step, it's going to wreck your formatting, and that's why it's very important that you save before you do this step, and then we will not save after this step is complete. So I've just saved my file. I now want a second printout from you that shows your formulas because, you know, it would have been very easy for you to take these totals and just type them in. But I want to be able to see that you actually used your sum function. So to do that, go to your formula tab and click the button that says show formulas. And you can see how it has wrecked it. It's stretched everything out, but now I can actually see everywhere that you've created a formula. So this is your second printout. Once again, never print without doing a print preview first. Make sure it fits to a page. It does in this case. Now it's pretty tiny. You can see that it's going to be hard for me to read that. So let's just do a quick little fix to it. Take these columns and let's size them down so that they're a little bit smaller. I don't need to see everything with all that white space in there. And I do want to make sure that my total line is big enough that I can see that whole formula. And now I'll do a print preview. And you can see it's not quite as small. I can actually read that writing. So go ahead and send that second printout to the printer, making sure that your header is on it, making sure that it still says page 1 of 1. Go ahead and send it. And then once you're out of there, do not save this because I'll show you why. When you turn these formulas off, so when I uncheck that box to say show formulas, you can see now that it's messed up because I changed those column widths and my graph is messed and my columns don't fit anymore. So you would have a whole lot of fixing to do. So just close the spreadsheet down. Do not save these final changes.